So today we actually want to show you 3 simple things that you can do at home for yourself in terms of strength training, whether you're pregnant or postpartum, and of course some non-negotiables that Coach Mercedes uses to get through her day and lean into her fitness routine so she can be the happiest, healthiest version of herself as a mom. Hi, I'm Dr. Matt. Welcome to my quick self-help videos where I share simple and easy tips on stretching and movement to help you improve your quality of life. Remember to share and subscribe. Hi, I'm Dr. Matt Bradbury, family corrective chiropractor, and I'm actually joined by my sister-in-law today, Coach Mercedes, and we're talking about simple things that we've noticed have worked really well for you, right, over the past months since having your little guy, right? And we're talking as well about the 2 non-negotiables and also simple strength training movements you can do right now at home. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're postpartum, pregnant, or if you're a guy and you want to get in shape and you want to find a place to start. Strength training in terms of longevity, keeping yourself healthy is probably one of the simplest things you can do and one of the biggest gifts you can give to yourself. And I think, Mercedes has a ton of valuable information. So, I mean, my first question for you is, what is it that, in terms of your non-negotiables, which you were sharing, share with our audience what you're thinking?
Yeah, so I keep it simple, 2 non-negotiables every day. One being hydration, especially being a nursing mom. So 120 ounces of water every single day, and walking. So minimum 10,000 steps. Don't sit down at night until you hit that target. Keep it simple.
Perfect. And I think, giving yourself some feedback, whether you use your phone to track your steps or some sort of fitness device, but the water and the steps, and I mean, I think sometimes you go above that probably, right? That's your baseline.
I usually, that's bare minimum. So I usually go well beyond that. But that is like, have to hit it or your day's not done.
Right. And that means even walking around the living room, right? To finish pacing your steps.
Up and down the stairs, up and down the hallway, around the living room, whatever you have to do to get those steps in.
Perfect. I love it. You notice there's non-negotiables that you have to stick to, and don't let yourself relax until they are done. And of course, if you're hydrating, try to front load that, I would say.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. You don't want to be drinking that all at the end of the day.
So try to, front load the 90 to 100 ounces earlier in the day.
Yeah, create a routine. When you wake up in the morning, a lot of us go straight for the coffee machine. Force yourself to drink, 30 ounces of water before you get your first coffee.
Perfect. I like it. Now, if someone was just watching this and they are looking for 3 simple moves they could do in the family room at home, we were talking about dumbbell squat, upper body push-up, different variations, right? And then finally doing the hip bridge. So do you want to take us through a little circuit that you found useful for yourself? Because I know you were mentioning like keep it as simple as you work out at home sometimes in front of the TV.
Absolutely. Right? So even I, as a gym owner, can't always make time to make it into the gym. So I love the option to work out at home in my living room in front of the TV. So things don't need to be complicated, whether you have a weight, you've got a bag to carry around, a paint can, you can do it unweighted. So there's lots of options. So to start off, we have our goblet squat, and I have a light dumbbell here for that squat, but again, can be done holding your baby or can be done with no weight.
Okay.
So ideally with that squat, we're really paying attention to our breath. So you want to take a big, deep breath in, filling up your belly, and then a nice breath out, exhaling as we squat and lower, and then again, exhale to stand. So as you're standing out of the squat, you're pushing that ground away from you, and you're really pulling up from your pelvic floor up. Again, pregnant, postpartum, either way, you want to be paying attention to that pelvic floor.
So the big ones are pushing the big toe down and engage your feet. And you notice Mercedes likes to work out in barefoot.
Absolutely. Being barefoot definitely allows you to have a stronger connection with your pelvic floor. I like to be able to feel 3 points of contact with my foot on the floor when I'm squatting. So my big toe, my heel, and my baby toe. And making sure I have those 3 points of contact at all times in that squat is really beneficial. And
when you're go down again one more time for me. You're really focused on, you can use the dumbbell if you're just a beginner to shift it out to balance better, which is a great tool. You can start really light. Big toe, all 3 points of contact, and driving your knees out as she comes up. And you said it before, you said the exhale.
The exhale.
As you're coming up, right? Doing your breath work. Beautiful. And now the second one?
So the second one, we're going to do a push-up. And that push-up can look different for all of us. Again, pregnant or postpartum, if you're pregnant, you're going to elevate your body. There's a lot of pressure and push up on your core, or if you're early postpartum. That can look like a countertop. You could be at a wall. You can use the couch, coffee table, whatever works for you, depending where you're at. And ideally, we're going to progress that push up to the floor eventually as we get stronger.
Okay.
So we've got a bench here. For our example today, we're going into a high plank position. We're going to lower our chest to that bench and push up from there.
And now, do you have any preference for width of grip for people watching and tuning in? Like, do you prefer a closer grip when you're elevated like that?
So grip or hand position with the push-up, we like to keep it the same no matter where we're at.
Okay.
So wall, counter, floor, we always want that positioning to be inside of our shoulder and in line with our shoulder. Okay. So you might see a different variation of a push-up where we're going wide arm. We like to use a nice tight push-up, keeping our elbows into the sides of our ribs and really working those biceps.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the big thing that I noticed was you mentioned as well, when you're coming up, you have to be aware of, especially if you're pregnant or you're postpartum, your core. And you mentioned any coning or doming.
Absolutely. Right? So everything we do, we really want to be conscious of our breath. And again, with that push-up, it's all about that big breath out as you're pushing out of that push-up position, making sure we're pulling our pelvic floor up to our ribs.
Okay. And so that's number 2. And basically, you can see here we're putting together a circuit. Number 3, you had a couple of variations, one from the floor, one from the bench, and with the ball between your knees.
Yeah. So again, you can sort of feel out where you're at with this movement. We're going to do a glute bridge. That can be done with your feet on the floor. It can be done with your feet elevated to make it a little bit more challenging. You can add a ball, a pillow, a towel rolled up, any sort of soft object between your knees. And as you add that squeeze into this movement, it's going to help engage that pelvic floor, which is what we're really trying to target when we're pregnant or postpartum. Really always engaging that pelvic floor in our movements, everything we do. So I'm going to lay back and just elevate my feet here. And as I go into that glute bridge, I'm going to give a big exhale and squeeze the ball together in my legs and relax when I lower. Again, squeeze.
So your emphasis, you notice when she comes up, she's thinking all posterior chain, core, and pelvic floor.
Right.
Cueing. And what's the rep range that you're working in with this one?
We're going to work between a 10 and 12 rep range for that. So we'll have 15 squats, 10 to 12 push-ups, 10 to 12 on the glute bridge.
Perfect. And before you know it, you put those 3 things together and you literally have a workout circuit. Yep. You do it 3 or 4 times around.
Yep.
And you've literally done some strength training at home, which if you're going from 0 to 1, that's a perfect start.
Yeah. It's an easy way to incorporate your kids into your fitness at home and not be overwhelmed by the idea.
And sometimes if it's not a dumbbell, it's a baby.
Absolutely.
You're holding him or her as you go up and down.
Yeah.
So some things to consider, and remember the non-negotiables in terms of 10,000 steps a day, the hydration, and then putting together some simple strength movements that you can do at home for fat loss, gaining some lean mass, and keeping yourself the healthiest version of you.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for tuning in. And of course, as we shared it in the past, we can't do it alone. And we got a big mission in terms of helping people understand their health better. They need better spinal health for better health, more function for better health. And we simply can't do it alone. So if you enjoyed it, please take a moment to share it so someone else can benefit too. And if you know someone directly who could benefit from this, grab the URL, grab it, send it out to them so they can get to them. And of course, we love having you, and we'd love to see more of you. So consider subscribing and liking what you've seen today, and we'll sign off. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.